let's get started with that first challenge. And like all men like to say when they're afraid of the dark, ladies first. So team BK Forex, let's go ahead. Team BK, that's Kathy. You want to go ahead and start us off, Kathy?
Yes. So non-farm payrolls is one of our favorite event risks to trade. Boris and I trade this every single month, but we trade it very differently. Usually, I'm much more focused on what we call the proactive trade, which is getting in positioning before the numbers come out. During our pre-talk, a lot of these gentlemen in this room were saying they're going to wait for the number, but I think the best opportunities, I think the cleanest opportunities are before the data. I mean, why? Because, many of you, if you're active traders, you know that data comes out, it goes up, down in a matter of seconds, you're in and out, and then you have to wait for the dust to settle before you actually get into another trade. And we'll do that. So the two trades that I'm looking at that I want to talk about is CAD Yen and CAD Swiss. So we've got two numbers coming out today. We've got the Canadian jobs number, we've got the US jobs number. You're looking at my chart, but what I really want to show you is this. This is my Twitter channel, Kathy Lean FX. Every single month, I do kind of an NFP preview. So, these are the arguments for strong versus weak non-farm payrolls. And we all get a sense that, maybe it should be a softer number, but you have to see the reasonings why. Number one, the ISM services component dropped. That's the strongest leading indicator for NFPs. ADP, first time it turned negative since December 2004. UMich sentiment, decade low. Consumer confidence, weak. 4-week jobless claims up. And the arguments for strong payrolls are really not that great. I mean, manufacturing sector is a different line item. Challenger really did nothing. And continuing claims is pretty much stable. So the arguments are there for a weaker jobs number from the U.S. Canada, at the same time, we've got, I think, 6 or 7 positive months of job growth. There were a bunch of restrictions in January as a result of Omicron. So what I'm banking on is a short CAD, short dollar view. So there's two opportunities, CAD Yen or CAD Swiss. Now, what you're looking at is my personal chart with our BK Zip indicator. And basically, all of the white candles with the red outline are sell signals. All the white candles with the green outline are buy signals. So, right now, we put on a CAD Swiss short trade ahead of this number. Now, CAD Yen looks just as good. And in some ways, could be a better trade, but it is also the more volatile trade because dollar yen will probably move much more than dollar Swiss. So I've gone short CAD Swiss with a 40 pip stop, 30 pip first target, and we'll see, how that works out. But on a technical basis, we've got multiple zip sell signals. I also love the fact that we have moving average clearance on the 4-hour charts for the most part, and certainly on the 1-hour charts where we're below all of the major moving averages. We kind of also have that in CAD Yen where you see we're below all of the moving averages here on the 1-hour chart, 4-hour chart, daily chart. All looks good, but like I said, they're both the same trade, but CAD Yen is going to be a bit more volatile. As this is a high level event risk, we're going with CAD Swiss.
Okay, and I got a question for that. Are you considering also the news that's coming out as well? I know we got non-farm payroll for the US, but we also have Canadian data coming out at the same time.
We have got 1 minute to go, Gary. Can I place my trade?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go flip back to Kathy again. Let's go ahead, Andrew. Go for it.
Okay, so I mean, I agree. The market's pretty much going for a quite a weak number. And normally, for the way I like to trade non-farm payroll for our room that we do every month, is basically buy the rumor, sell the fact. If we do have a weak number, you're likely to see the euro push higher against the euro dollar. If there is going to be a knee-jerk reaction to that, I want to capitalize on that. So if you share my screen to the director here, I'm going to place a pending sell limit order above where the market is at the moment. I've got myself a small protective stop. My risk manager works out the lot size accordingly. So I've placed a pending sell limit order just on the one contract at around 15.10. I've got stops just above 15.50 if there's a knee-jerk reaction. And you've got about 10 seconds.
Fantastic. Well, great stuff, getting it in very quickly. So we're going to go ahead and take a look and see how this plays out. But while we are, I want to go back to Kathy again and say, did your analysis did that include, of course, the Canadian data that's coming out as well today?
Well, that's
460.
why we're in CAD Swiss and not Eurodollar, because we're focused on
Okay.
CAD data and US data.
Good, good. All right, great stuff. Let's get back to Andrew's trade right here. I want to go ahead and take a look at Andrew's trade.
Okay, the trade's out of date now. Basically, the numbers have just come out much better than expected.
467 against 150, guys. What I say before the show.
Wow, look at that.
Everybody was doubting me. I said before the show with everybody, the number is going to be much stronger because BLS is always late on their numbers. They're going to adjust downwards later. So
I didn't hear that. Nick, did you hear that?
That's a huge number. I mean, I just got pie in my face. That's a huge number. But look at my trade. It hasn't moved. 67, 48. It's pretty much exactly where we got in. So, that's also about hiding out in the right places.
Can
What's the CAD
I
data?
mean, you see here the dollar's just popping here. Dollar's popping. Again, buy the rumor, sell the fact. I mean, my bias at the moment would be, I don't know about you, Nick, but I'm looking to, this is one bunch of numbers. Everything's priced into the markets in terms of rate hikes. I'm inclined to sell this overreaction, sell this dollar at something. What do you think?
The CAD data was really bad. The CAD data was, I was going to say, the CAD data is really bad. It was minus 200 versus minus 121. So US data was good. The CAD data is bad. Obviously, that's a really beautiful dollar CAD long trade. But I think we're going to stick with this CAD Swiss. It's dripping in my favor still.
All right. Did you get triggered, Kathy? I can't see from here, but did you get triggered on that trade?
Nick, do you mind if I sell the dollar yen here?
Just go ahead, Andrew. It's getting this is much more like a trading floor. I'm loving it at the moment.
Yeah,
it's talking over each other.
It's just a massive overreaction to this at the moment.
Gary, if you want to look at my chart, I want to show you a couple of interesting things that are going on right now. Gold is just took a cliff dive. We already banked 11 points in gold right now ahead of the thing because I got short over here, as you can see. And gold is really, really coming down hard because yields are blowing out. Gold hates, high yields. Look at that. Yields are 187. Really, really going out. That's actually, by the way, not great for NAS also. You see NAS is kind of petering out as well. We're going to be buying the dip. We're going to buy a falling knife only when we get the buy signal. So right now, everything is puking lower. So until we get green candles on my indicator, we're not going to be coming in. But we're going to come in on everything. We're going to buy NAS. We're going to buy gold for a bounce because they are going to readjust. Also, we sold earlier. We sold ETH. We made money on ETH on a dip lower. This is the buy view. So I sold it in the sell view. Crypto is actually much calmer and holding up much better than all the other assets. So it's an interesting look to think about it. Oil.
Okay, so Nick and I have sold the dollar against the Japanese yen for the overreaction to that. Yeah, it was a good bunch of numbers, and I think the reason why the markets are reacting now is because everyone, even before the stream here today, people were talking about, apart from Boris, of course, we're talking about negative numbers and so forth. So this is a bit of a reaction, bit of a relief bounce. Buy the rumor, sell the fact. We're selling the dollar yen. If I can just pull up the famous momentum meter, which I look at. If you can put my screen on the broadcast there, you'll see exactly what's happening. This is showing you where the money is going at the moment. The dollar is strong on the 15-minute chart, but look at the CAD. The CAD's trading lower. You've got the British pound trading lower at the moment. So CAD is actually coming under pressure. So if you want to buy something,
good for my trade
against the CAD.
That's good, great for my trade, Andrew. I mean, FX Big Dog asked if we were in. My trades are always market trades. I don't, mess around with, entry orders on top or down. We went short CAD Swiss. We're in it at market. So as you said, CAD is weakening. It's the right place to be. We're short
oil right now. We're short oil as well because oil has just got such a big overextended move that I'm going to be shorting this into the sunset. We get stopped out. We'll short again. If you look at my screen, I have a scalper dashboard that automatically will stop me out and short larger size as soon as I get my signal.
That was my challenge too. You can't short oil.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Well, let's not.
I'm in it for 21 cents. So I'll probably
guys, I want to move you can either move your stop to break even or take profits on CAD Swiss here. We're falling. Can you show my chart real quick? You can see, you know, we had those dip sell signals in CAD Swiss. It's just dripping lower. So even though I got pie in my face for the NFP call because the leading indicators weren't good, we used our technicals, so we focused on sentiment, and the trade is moving in our favor. So I think we're going to go ahead and move our stop to break even. And for those of you, we've got a spike low here. So if you want to bank some of the pips, you can do that. And it was a good trade.
All right, so let's go ahead and just sum up this
closing
challenge.
you out because I can't go break even. You're out. You
Okay, fine.
made points that I made.
So
give
winning
me another
proactive trade, even though we're completely wrong on the NFP data, and that's where, you know, FX Big Dog, we're talking about fundamentals versus technicals versus sentiment. It's about all of it, and that's how you get the best trades and hide in bad ones.
Yep,
It's
absolutely.
difficult to get a word in edgeways here, Andrew,
quickly.
I think. So I've bought some gold on that little dip there around 1801, just above 1801. So
yeah, you bought the wrong number. I'm still waiting. I got no signal.
So we're long gold, yeah? 1801, yeah?
we're long gold, yeah.